I'm Nathan Pearl. This is your daily Bible Manna. We're in the book of Jude, and we've gone through the first 7 verses, and we're going to get into verse 8. The 7th verse got a little dark. It's a little disturbing what he writes, but Jude is writing saying, listen, the faith that you have is beautiful, and you need to understand the stakes that we have. You need to understand the issues that are in front of us. And so he said, I want you to know that God gave Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities around it. He gave them, for an example, the suffering of Sodom and Gomorrah, the things that God did. He gave them to us as an example of how he feels about that action of giving yourself over to fornication. Verse 8, he said, likewise also, these filthy dreamers defile the flesh, despising dominion, and speak evil of dignities. Now, that's an odd sort of grouping to put together. He says that they defile the flesh. What does that mean, that the filthy dreamers defile the flesh? When God destroyed the world with a flood, he said that every imagination of their heart was evil, that all the things that they could think of to do were evil. We have the ability with AI and cartoons and with the way things are going to make up any sort of strange, wicked thing and to indulge in that. It's called defiling the flesh through filthy dreaming. It is something that takes something that was designed to be beautiful, to be life-affirming, life-creating, to be sanctifying, and using it up. Marriage is like building a fire. You add things to that fire like peace and unity, joy, kindness, mercy, and you place those logs, if you will, on that marriage fire together. Your mercy, her mercy, your kindness, her kindness. And as you relate to each other, the flame grows. It grows and grows. And when you're around an old married couple like my parents, have been married 50-something years, it's like being in the presence of an old bonfire. There's nothing but white ash there on the top, and you wouldn't think that there's a lot of heat there. But because of what's transpired in life, there is a lot more heat in that than there is in a match. If you get 10, 15 feet away, you recognize that those embers are deep. They've run deep. They're old. They're strong, and a simple rain shower won't put them out. I built a fire on my farm the other day and burned some stumps, and that got a big old bonfire going. I came back a little more than a week later and was going to scoop the dirt up. As soon as I moved some of the dirt, flames started licking up. It had been there for a week under that dirt, hot, burning, and you couldn't see it. That's an old marriage between two people that love God, love each other, grow a family together. The perversion that the world offers as a distraction to distract you from the loss of that, from the sadness that comes with not receiving the things that God has for you. The filthy dreamers that come along and offer you an alternative. What they offer you is gasoline for the fire. The pornography that they offer you, the strangeness that is offered, it's gasoline, but it burns up. It's gone. It doesn't offer heat. It offers passion in a sense. It offers pleasure in a sense. But it's short-lived, and it uses you up. When you see an old married couple, they've been married 50 years, it's sweet. They're sweet. It's sweet to have dinner with them, to sit down and chat with them about the years gone by and look at pictures of the grandchildren and of the first home and hear the stories. You sit down with an old pervert that's been a pervert for 50 years. There's nothing sweet there. There's no old pictures and photographs and memories. There's caked on garish makeup and weird outfits and darkness and chains of of loss and sadness, and it's not good. He says, I want you to know that what you're defending has value. Those filthy dreamers, they defile the flesh. The thing that God created as a learning thing, as a thing that would grow us, they defile that. They despise dominion. In other words, there's things that are owned, things that you have dominion over. The Bible says that my wife has power over my flesh. That's dominion in a way. And I have power over hers, that we belong to one another. They despise that. They step outside of those bounds and those strictures that God gives us, and they say, I want absolute liberalism to do what I want, when I want, how I want. Well, there's no freedom in that. There's liberation in that, but no freedom in that. He said, but they speak evil of dignities. It's interesting to put that in there because it's it almost seems like a thing apart from what he's talking about, because he's talked about sexual immorality and perversion, and then he says you'll speak evil of dignities, meaning those in power over you, including the spiritual realm. You'll defy and despise God, angels, governments, direction. Why? Because the end result of pure liberalism, the end result of saying that self is the center of my universe, that my id, my ego, is the thing that defines everything around me. Every choice is defined by how it relates to me and my good, not to the greater good, the family's good, the church's good, the society's good, but my own personal good. The end result of that is a casting off of the yoke of control, of any sort of direction from above, any sort of dominion, and saying, I am the center of the universe. I am my own president, my own commander-in-chief, my own director. I am my own authority, and there is none other. He says, listen, there is a natural and a proper order. God has ordained authorities in our lives, and we're to come under those authorities. He tells us in Romans 13, obey them that have the rule over you. And part of that is recognizing dominions. It's recognizing that realm of authority and being into submission to those. And as we cast off all authority in our life, starting with what's near to us, the sexuality that God's granted us, and we cast off every authority in our life, the end result of that is an unruliness that is self-destructive. And in the next passages, he's going to explain why that's self-destructive. All right, thank you for joining us for your daily Bible Manna. It will get more encouraging. We'll see you back here next time. Thank you.